And this is how I pay my rent. I stay here at Far Out Farm for free in exchange for 20 hours a week or so of farm work. Okay, so it's a bit of a walk out to where the pine needles are. Amy and I walked out there a little while ago. We brought out the bags and rake and wheelbarrow. I'll show you the method that Amy taught me when we get out there. It's a pretty good method with the bags. Let me know in the comments what you guys do to collect browns, and if any of y'all have used this bag method that Amy has taught me recently. I like it. It works well. Sunflowers and everything is looking amazing out here. Hibiscus, we've got so many peppers. It's hard to see in the sunlight right now, but things are doing pretty well, especially for the Texas heat. Alright, so here we are, basically at the turn-in on the trail, where we have some bags. I'll show you. Basically, it's pretty simple. We're gonna pile up some of the pine needles. There's a rake somewhere in the forest over here. There's 3 or 4 large pine trees in a row, because this whole land was select loblolly, basically like plantation or whatever before. Not plantation, but basically they were logging this property, and so there's 4 in a row right here, and I'm just going to get a bunch of these pine needles and put them into the bags and then deliver them to different spots on the farm that Amy's asked me to. So that's what we're going to capture here, and this is how I pay my rent. So if you're interested in figuring out ways that you could do the same, if you have an RV, or even if you don't, there's places that sometimes will have their own housing. So keep following along, drop a comment. I can help get you started on your journey for sure. Usually Monday through Friday are the heaviest days. Today's Monday. I just released an episode yesterday, so I appreciate everyone who tuned in yesterday for episode 6, and who's going to tune in this week. I appreciate all the comments already and all the new subscribers. Thank you. And so today we're going to get into some other chores that I do. This is also like a maybe every 2 weeks to every month chore. We're going to go get some browns, basically pine needles. Amy already showed me a spot pretty far out in the back of the property, and I'll take you guys along. We'll check it out. I've got actually a long sleeve on. It's like a sun shirt, but it even has like a hood I might put up, just because there's a handful of ticks out here. So I'll kind of do a tick check afterwards as well. Make sure that I don't have any ticks on me. There's some Lone Star ticks out here, so you got to be careful, and watch out, protect yourself. So this is the bag method that Amy taught me. I would just normally put it just right into the wheelbarrow, but when you stuff them in here, it makes sense. You can get a lot more kind of packed in there real nice. And so I'm going to put them into this black bag once I have a bunch over here. And then I'm going to deliver the different bags around the farm for her. And she just picks different spots in the woods. She kind of rotates where to get the needles from. I think she said she doesn't think she's maybe ever got this spot, and they've been here for like seven years on the farm, so they just kind of rotate, try not to overgraze for needles anywhere, if you will. Okay, we will see how many I have right now. Let's see how this goes. Okay, yeah, let me bring you closer. I'll show you the, so not only is it the bag method, but I'll show you the actual trick, all attributed to Amy here. She taught me this. Okay, so this is the extra trick that Amy taught me. Not only do you use the bag, but if you go like this, basically put the bag in front, obviously. You like lay it down the way you want it. Okay. And then you basically hop on top of the bag, if you will. And put your feet inside of it like this. Hop in the bag, put your feet in there to keep it open. As you start, and then you basically want the material right here, and you start stuffing it in there. And you can pack it in pretty well. You want to use like these heavy duty leaf flags, obviously. Pack it down a little bit. And you can do it again. I think it works pretty well, honestly. I like that method. Thank you, Amy, if you're watching. Or, well, you'll see this, I know. So, great method. Everyone who likes this method and tries it, thank Amy in the comments. And also go follow their Instagram. The Far Out Farm Instagram is, it's Far Out Farm Kittrell. It's Kittrell. All one word. It's also, it'll be in the description of this video, so just go down there, hit the link, follow them, tell her how much you love it, because I love it. It's a great method. Just try to keep the sticks out of there, and we basically have a full bag now. So I will film myself doing the rest of them. Maybe I'll get a teeny bit more in here, but usually I'll tie it up so that the stuff doesn't come out while I'm hardening it back, because I'll stack them like two, or as many as I can high on the wheelbarrow. That's the other benefit. So we'll get a little bit more in here. And these help to keep, they're basically like a mulch. Both help to keep the weeds down and to help to keep the moisture in. Also, because you know, we're getting it out here in the middle of the forest, it's basically like a bit of an inoculant, if you will, like a probiotic. Like we're getting the beneficial bacteria, like a leaf mulch culture, if you will. So we're just grabbing the leaf mulch and throwing it in the mix up there. And so we're going to use them as a weed barrier with some cardboard underneath, where we've got like weeds and grass growing where we don't want it, and then we'll also use it as a mulch on top of the huviculture mound by the pond, so that when we flood, we get basically a more even distribution of water and wicking. I sit on my forehead. I think it might be sweat, huh? Rolling down. Oh, about to get on my nose like that. I love that. Oh boy, that's how you know. The good old Texas heat. I don't know what the heat index is. I'm sure it's well over 100. Who knows? It's always over 100 out here. pretty much done for the day. I already did watering this morning, and then, well, at least as far as for the farm, I'm doing engineering work. Got to get back to that here in a few minutes, and that's how I pay the bills. Like, this doesn't, living here at the farm is just getting me free rent, basically. And so how I pay for my food and gas and insurance and Starlink and all the other, I mean, I'm not even really meeting all those expenses honestly yet. I need more engineering hours and other income, but it does help. It does pay a good amount, so enough to pay my bare minimum. So anyways, let's get this fourth bag rocking so I can get back to the engineering. What are you two doing? These my boys. My boys. Oh, there's my boys. I love you too. You're so cute. Yeah. Yes. Alright, if you want to clean up with the rake and get that last scoop in there, and we are finished. I hope y'all learned a little something there. I definitely did. I appreciate Amy for teaching me that method. That's a good tip though, I think, for some helpers out there. Like, you want to be a balance of helpful and knowledgeable, but also trainable, coachable. Even if you've done certain things before, like if you're at a certain farm and they want, something done X, Y, Z way, you can maybe mention, oh, I've seen it done this way before, like if they seem to be open for suggestions. But a lot of people have certain reasons why they're doing things certain ways, and if you're at their farm and you're going to be spending their electricity, spending time on their property, and they're asking you to do work, you got to do it the way that they prefer it to be done, and be coachable. Basically, you're here to learn, you're here to do the work as they wish, and if it's a serious ergonomic issue, raise your voice. Right that's where I would say, hey, if something that you physically, maybe you could do it a couple of days, but if you couldn't do it every single day because it's a kind of an ergonomic hazard, raise your voice. Then you have both rights, and you're a human, right? But if there's some particular way they like certain things done, respect that wish too. That's really important to build a good rapport with the people that you're living with, you're working on their farm. So that's a lesson I would say I've learned, both here and other places as well, not just here, but one for, I'm picking up and reminded of here as well. So, I learned that lesson also out at, there's a farm or a nursery out in California called Exotica, Southern California. I was doing some woofing out there, and similar thing about how much potting soil to put in certain things and how to plant certain things. He had a particular way, and you just follow it. You do what if it's their operation, you're there to help, and you're there to be an assistant, not there to run the show. And that is, I would say, probably from what I've heard from owners as well, like that's a trip up where people don't, not every helper follows that. And that's something to be really mindful. If you're going to be on someone's property, they're going to take a risk on you, invite you onto their land. It's not easy. It's not always easy to get you off their land, and they might want to feel like, hey, we're giving this person a chance. So when they're giving you a chance, especially if they bring it up more than once, listen to them. Make an effort to do that shift. And like I said, maybe there's certain cases where, it warrants a deeper discussion, particularly in ergonomic issues, I would say. Like if you're not familiar with ergonomics, it's like a health hazard because of like a repetitive movement. I mean, I know someone that worked in a nursery, a real nursery, a big nursery, and he actually got like a repetitive motion injury from just making pots, like potting up soil, like probably 5,000 in a day. He had some wrist, almost like carpal tunnel, but then he was out for like months of work because of workplace injuries. So it is something to be mindful of. You know, just how you're treating your body, and some of this work can be hard. So if there's certain things that you're doing that feel like they're too much, especially for a long period of time, I think that's a good opportunity to say, hey, maybe can we shift, either do a different method, or, you know, have a split duty where I do it one day, you do it another day. That's like what I've seen work out as well. And so you get to maybe a more permanent, like long-term solution. That's been a really good kind of happy medium that I've found that's worked here in other places as well. So those are just some little tips and tricks. I don't know if it's going to make it into the final cut, but yeah, I just wanted to bring that to you from a helper's perspective, and what I've heard from, you know, landowners' perspective, what's sometimes a pinch point or a pain point. So thank you for following for this. If you've made it this far, and two, if you're enjoying this content, please be sure to give us a subscribe and a like if you like this video. We put out new episodes every Sunday, and currently we're mostly here at the farm. Maybe in time, the goal is to for me to start traveling and visiting other farms, homesteads, farmsteads, properties in general that are in need of a helper like me. First locally here in Texas, Austin and surrounding Houston areas, and then eventually, you know, I'd like to grow where I could travel the country and showcase basically people's land that they're looking for someone to come in, and we could interview the farmer, say exactly what they're looking for, give a really good preview of what the chores might be. What is this new little invention, Penguina? You just made yourself a little hammock? I've never seen this before. It's pretty cute, babe. I'm not gonna lie. Oh my goodness, a little hammock. Looks like you brought some of these little green seeds up here too, huh? That's about the only way they would be getting up here, is if your little butt brought them up here. Oh my goodness, you're so cute, babe. What are you doing? Oh no, where you going? Oh my goodness, you're cute, girly. How'd you get up there, babe? Is that your new little spot? Let me see. Oh, you're so pretty. I love you. Oh, I love you. You need to shush my girl. First round's going right here. I'm gonna just drop the bags. because I don't know exactly where she wants them. But so our compost pile by the garden is right here, and that's where I'm gonna drop this first bag. That was there for her. Delivering bag number 3 right now. I missed one. I was supposed to drop one all the way out there at the pond. So I'm gonna drop this one here, number 3, and then I'm gonna go get a drink. And we're gonna drop that last one out there after I get a drink. I just took a little hydration break, and I am about to get that last bag situated out by the pond. The last bag of brown stuff. And I hope you learned something about how to gather browns for your compost or for mulching, and some of the benefits of getting it from your own property. Obviously it's free, especially if you have a fair amount of land. It has a little more maybe probiotic content. If you've ever heard of leaf mold or any of those kind of things, it's basically you're getting some leaf mold and some of those naturally occurring bacteria that are out in the forest already. You're going to bring them into your soil, so that's a good thing. And you're just kind of working with what's on the land. Thank you for coming along for this episode of the Etherstead. I hope you enjoyed and found this helpful. If you did, please give us a like and a subscribe. We went over the browns here, the browns for our compost, and why it's beneficial to pick them up here at your farm if you have the opportunity to pick them up in the forest nearby on your property versus going out and buying mulch. And yeah, that's basically what we do here. So everyone's got a little bit different of a practice, but I also showed you the bag stuffing method, which Amy showed me, and I hope you guys found that helpful. If you did, please comment thank you Amy, and give her a follow over at her farm, which is linked down in the comments below, and we hope to hear more from you. Thanks for coming along and staying. Keep on growing, and much love. We will see you on the next one.